This is the Brown Boy Wonders podcast.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. In this episode of YEEERRRR, where we talk about anything and anything, I'm here with Daniel. Daniel, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty great, actually.
Great. Well, the only thing I just want to talk about here is a trailer came out this past week. It's a popular trailer, actually. I think the last 24 hours made like almost 500, I don't know, a lot of million views. We're talking about Grand Theft Auto 5, man. Oh, sorry, not 5. That's been so long. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yep.
But yeah, man, since you are familiar with games and video games, what are your thoughts on the trailer of GTA 6?
So I'm sort of split on it in a couple of ways because I look at the trailer and I'm like, that is extremely high fidelity. I think this game looks like it's technologically like super far ahead. And so in that regard, I do think it is going to be like one of the most impressive games probably of all time. And on the other hand, I just find it really hard to feel excited about it because the trailer is just like it's basically like exactly what I expected it to be. You know what I mean? Like I looked at it and I was like, that's one of those. That's a GTA. And that's in some ways kind of disappointing. It's only the first trailer, so I expect that because we're not getting the game until 2025. I expect that we're going to get a lot more information coming out about it.
Right.
Probably a lot more trailers where they'll break down like what the story is, and I think once those things start coming out, I'll feel more excited about it. But right now, it does very much just feel like they're like, we're doing another one, and that's cool, that's really great, but I need more before I'm really actually excited about it.
I mean, we waited 13 years for this trailer at least? You're not that excited?
So I'm really not. GTA 5 came out in what was that 2012, 2013? It was like right at the end of the Xbox One, PS3 generation. Or sorry. Xbox 360, PS3 generation.
Yeah.
And I played that then, and I really have not. I haven't like been craving or really in need of another GTA since then. And I know that's not true of most people because like we look at the online numbers and they're crazy. Like GTA Online pops off it's on NPD pretty much every month, even though it came out a decade ago. So like it's extremely popular. It's just never been something that really spoke to me. For me, Rockstar is an extremely talented studio, but I really am more interested in like Red Dead because I think it's more fun to put myself in the world of like I'm a cool cowboy, I'm an outlaw guy, as opposed to like I'm just kind of a jerk, which has been one of my biggest problems with the GTA franchise as a whole is that I just don't like the writing of it. I feel like more often than not, especially in like 4 and 5, because those are the ones that are more relevant in my mind currently. It feels like they don't really write characters; they write caricatures. Like they write very simplified versions of characters, where they're like, this is the character who does this one thing, and that's their entire personality, right? Or even worse, in some cases, the character is entirely characterized by like their ethnicity or their nationality. Like I think to GTA 4, and I think of Little Jacob, where it's like, who's Little Jacob? He's the Jamaican guy, and it's like, cool. What is he like? Weed. And it's like, cool,
One
great, okay. Like, yeah, it's like, what else does he have? Nothing really. Okay, cool. Or you know, like the Irish guy who I forget what his. Well, it's rough because his name, it turns out, is actually a slur for Pakistani people.
Okay, yeah, I know what it is.
Because his name was Patrick.
Yeah.
So they shortened it in a way that turned out to actually be a slur, which is really unfortunate. But his entire characterization is like, okay, he's the Irish guy. What is he like? His family and getting drunk. Cool, awesome. Yeah, awesome, great. And like, that's like his whole character, right? And so I've always found that really disappointing. I do think that GTA 6 is probably going to be better about that just because Red Dead 2 was so much better about it. I think Red Dead 2 did a much better job of actually writing characters that had like motivation and like desires and interesting things. Specifically, I think of like the way that they handled the Native American characters in that game. I think they did really, really well, because they fully addressed it. They were like, hey, you shouldn't do, like, it was there's the storyline where it was like the chief talking to his son, and the son wanted to just like attack the white man because for revenge basically, and he was like, if you do that, then you become what they think we are, right? And it was very much that like almost Martin Luther sort of idea of like, if we're going to win this fight, we have to do it peacefully because we're vastly outnumbered. And also just like, if we stoop to their level, then we are exactly what they say we are. And we don't want to do that, right? And so I think they handled that really well in Red Dead 2. And so that gives me a lot of hope for how the writing will work in Grand Theft Auto 6. But I need to actually see that. In this trailer, I got like a little glimpse of it where Lucia's in bed with, I think his name's Jacob or something
Uh,
like that, the male character.
yeah, Jason.
Jason, who, if I'm being honest, really just looks like white action hero number 6. Like, he looks very generic. I'm sure you'll be able to customize him to some extent, and that'll probably fix a lot of that.
I
But
heard
to me,
he,
he just kind of looks very generic.
I heard his character's more like a redneck-ish type of a
That
character.
fits. I mean, it is like a Florida-based game, so there's probably going to be a lot of like, I mean, we see them in the trailer also of like the people who are going mudding and they're like
Yeah,
out in the Everglades hunting gators or whatever. Like, I could see him being sort of attached to that aspect of Florida. That'd be interesting. But there was that one scene where they're like in bed together, and she's talking about like they're having a conversation about trust, and we only get like a very brief interstitial, like a 2-second thing of that conversation. But that gives me hope of like, oh, we're actually going to have real conversations, and they're going to be like real character work in this. So that gives me hope. But again, I need to see more before I like really feel confident one way or the other of how this game is going to go.
gotcha. I mean, for me, I mean, especially after Red Dead, they should know like how, like you said, the story and the character development for each character. I think they'll go based on that, and also the where I'm more excited about is how in Red Dead the animals physics they
Yeah,
are
how they like made entire ecosystems that interacted with each other. That's
yeah,
really impressive, and I do think we'll see that in this as well. So
especially
I'm
with the
excited for that.
alligators. I think we can get
It's
eaten by alligators.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, right, where I look at it and I'm like, even if I don't care about the story of GTA 6, I think the sandbox element of it will be enough for me to at least enjoy myself with it. Like,
Hmm.
you're going to be able to go out and go hunting and like do all these side activities. So even if the story doesn't speak to me, which I honestly at this point feel like it's kind of a toss up, it's like 50-50. I do think that I'll enjoy this game, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to get into, maybe not day one, but like pretty close to day one, just because like it is going to be such a huge part of the conversation at that time, because it's Grand Theft Auto. It's going to be the biggest thing that comes out in 2025 by absolutely any metric, right? It's going to sell like crazy. People are going to be talking about it. It's going to be all over every kind of social media. You're not going to be able to take a step out your front door without hearing about Grand Theft Auto.
I mean, they don't
And
have
so I'm
to show
definitely
the
going to get into it.
they don't have to show the trailer. They can show the logo GTA 6
Yeah.
coming 25. They'll still buy it no matter
It's
what.
100%. They didn't have to show any information about that game, and it would have sold, because that's just the weight that Grand Theft Auto has, which is both good and bad, because it does mean that if this game turns out to be bad, which I don't think it will, but if it does turn out to
No.
be bad, then there's going to be like so many people talking about how bad it is, right? So a
Right.
double-edged sword where it's like you've kind of set yourself up on this precipice of like having to match up to the caliber of your previous games. Um, and that is, I imagine, very intimidating for the people who work there.
Definitely. I mean, I think I mentioned this in our top 5 video games. My favorite game pretty much was GTA Vice City.
Yeah,
And for me, just to go back into Miami, Vice City, even not even Tom Vercetti, but just like someone else, I think it's just gonna bring me back to memory lane. Um,
I
the
would
thing,
not be surprised if we get a Vercetti cameo.
dude,
If minimum, like there will be an Easter egg, 100%. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a cameo.
dude, I want to see an old Tommy Vercetti in his mansion. That'll be that'll warm my heart.
What celebrity do you want to voice him?
Oh yeah, Ray Liotta.
Ray
What's his
Liotta.
name? Liotta. He kind of passed away. I don't know. Get this. No, he doesn't have to talk. Like the GTA 3 character, he didn't even talk. He can be the same.
Sure. Hopefully they don't do the thing they did in in 5, where one of the first things that we see of Trevor is he's killing the main character from Lost in the Damned,
Oh,
which was one of the like more popular aspects of GTA 4 was the DLC that came afterwards, where it was like the biker gang one. You played that, right?
I play that.
And then when you start playing as Trevor, he kills the main character of that. Hopefully, they don't start this game by killing Tommy Vercetti, because I
No,
feel like people would react very negatively to that.
I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I'd be upset.
I mean, remember in I think it was San Andreas, when you're CJ, you had to do that race and that GTA. I forgot the GTA 3 guy's name.
I don't
Um,
remember.
but he was in the race, so it was like a good Easter egg there. So hopefully we'll see Vercetti in GTA 6.
I think it's
Um,
almost guaranteed, honestly.
we got. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know how important he'll be, but I think it would be genuinely shocking if he doesn't show up to some degree.
Maybe he's the father of Lucia.
Is he Hispanic? I don't remember.
I think he was Italian.
So no.
I remember his boss. His name was Sonny, so I think that guy was Italian. I think he was a
Yeah.
white guy.
I mean, Vercetti's an Italian name. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. But do you calling back to Vice City?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna have that gang war again, like the Haitians versus the Cubans?
I don't know. To be fair, I remember very little of Vice City other than just like the soundtrack and the general color scheme of it. Like I remember it being
Love it.
very, very vibrant. Like those are the things I remember because it's been so long since I played it. The story of it, I don't remember very well. So I don't necessarily have a lot of like insight into that. But if that's what like the main plot of Vice City was, I'm sure that people will at least mention it. Like maybe there'll be remnants of those two gangs or something. I don't know.
It was a subplot. It's like in San Andreas with the purple gang and the green gang.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's coming out 2025. I'm excited.
Probably. So the thought is that because there was their like earnings call or whatever, where they said that they were going to have a really big game in 2024, that it will be at the beginning of 2025 because that's still fiscal 2024.
Right.
So it could be like the first, like I think that goes up until end of March, maybe. So if it hasn't been internally delayed, which it could very easily have been, it'll be very early. I think it makes more sense to put this out like right before summer. I think this feels very much like a June sort of game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like April maybe.
Yeah, I could see this being. It feels very much like school's out, let's go hang out in Vice City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe I get from this game. And so maybe they delay it just like a month or two, which would technically push it out of that fiscal year. But like it's going to make $1 billion anyway, so I'm sure they don't really care that much.
No, that'll happen. I just don't want, like, in Call of Duty where you have to install campaign separately, multiplayer separately, Warzone separately.
This is going to be a huge download, 100%. Right. Yeah, I remember specifically installing GTA 5 on my 360, and it was like, okay, come back in 30 minutes. Like you put the install disc in, and it was like, come back when it's done. And now, obviously modern technology like SSDs and stuff has made that a lot faster, but that install size, I would be shocked if it's below 150 gigs.
I think it's be like 300 gigabytes at least.
With online, maybe.
I mean,
but you play online won't launch with it also. That'll be something that comes later.
Gotcha. I remember playing online. That was a good time for GTA 5. I don't think they had it in GTA 4.
Yeah, I don't remember really. I definitely never did GTA Online in 4 if it existed. But it was obviously huge for 5. Like that's where this GTA community has really popped up from in a major way. So 6 will 100% have an online aspect. It doesn't seem like it's going to launch with it based on just like how they've sort of been talking about it. I really hope that they find a way for people to be able to carry over some of their like progress and money or whatever from GTA 5 online to whatever they do GTA 6 online, because people have put tons and tons and tons of money into GTA 5 online. So if that just like kind of dies, that's going to be really disappointing for a lot of people. So I hope that they find some way to like make that right for their fan base. And I think they will.
They should. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have that iFruit thing as well, right? From GTA 5 online.
Oh, yeah. Like the app that they had.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll transfer. Ifer be in GTA 6.
Well, we saw a lot, like social media was a big aspect of the
Yeah.
trailer that they dropped, where it looked like it was more like a TikTok thing.
Hmm.
So maybe it'll be a different app. But yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't do some kind of like outside the game thing like that. I think it would actually be really funny if like you could post things to it in game and then it would show up, like you could follow your friends on it as like a GTA based social media and you would like see their screenshots or whatever on it. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be
You
cool.
could like link it to your PSN account or your Xbox Live account or something, and maybe it would do it for you. I don't know. That'd
It's
be really cool.
it'd be very meta too.
Yeah, well, 100%.
Um, I think I have a conspiracy theory. I think the reason why it took so long for GTA 6 to come out, and I think the developers was trying to study Florida
Okay.
and to see like the Florida man. You
The
got
Florida. Sure.
you got all those things. I think that's why there's been studying these the Floridians for like
Floridians. I
6 years.
I mean, that's I'm sure that's part of it. They definitely do a lot of reference to like very specific like Miami culture. Um so yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely part of it. I think also just because of the scale and the like not what's the word, like not resolution, but like the detail and scale that's even just on display in the trailer in this game. It like this is 100% a game that is going to take years and years and years and years to make. Like this, it doesn't surprise me that it took as long as it did. Looking at the trailer, I just hope it doesn't take this long between this and the next one, because that would mean that I'll be like 46 by the time that game comes out before
No,
GTA 7 happens.
like Vice City came out 2020, 2002, and then San Andreas came out like what 2005 ish,
Yeah,
and
well, the
then
PS2 ones came out really like back to back to back. Like they were really fast.
yeah,
And to be fair, there was a Red Dead in between
the first one,
5 and 6. So
yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
also between 4 and 5, I think. So I mean, it's not like Rockstar's just gonna finish 6 and then immediately go on to the next GTA. I mean, maybe to some extent, like they'll probably start figuring out like what they want to do with it, but I doubt they go into like full development on it, because I mean, Red Dead is also extremely popular, so I guess they'll almost certainly go into that after this.
do you think you'll like? Do you want a Red Dead Redemption 3?
Yeah, I would have rather gotten a Red Dead Redemption 3 than this, I think.
I mean, the second one is a masterpiece, that's for sure.
Red Dead 2 is really, really good. I actually really love that game. And I'm not necessarily, I'm usually not like the biggest fan of Rockstar games for a lot of reasons, some of which I've already said. Um, but Red Dead 2 was the one that like, I was like, oh no, like that was the one where I finally like really understood what people were saying about the games, where I was like, okay, I get why these games are as popular as they are. Um, but then I went back and replayed GTA 5 and I was like, this is still like, this does not hold up in like a 2023. There's a lot of the humor and like writing very specifically in that game that like you could not do today. You would just not get away with it.
I mean, the comedy in GTA is more of like a satire of anything.
It is, but it's like a really poorly handled. It's like a very poorly executed satire, where it's like a lower brow than South Park, which is unfortunate.
Sure, sure. I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe we'll see Arthur Morgan in GTA 6. You never know.
Maybe it'll be they'll do a thing where like Red Dead is a video game in the GTA universe or something,
Oh
or
yeah.
like there's a movie being made and it's being shot in Miami for some reason. And it's like
Ooh.
the cowboy one. Like I could see things that they could do. There's a lot of like theories of what kind of fun things they could do with the Miami sort of location. A lot of people are saying that they want that there'll be like amusement parks in it. Um, and I could see that because like there's a lot of amusement parks in that general area, but also in 5, like 5 was supposed to be like Los Santos was like San Diego, right? It was like
Yeah.
Southern California, and there wasn't a Disney rip off there as far as I remember. So I don't necessarily think that they're gonna do like 1-to-1 on any of it. So, but I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a lot of really exciting things. We definitely saw in the trailer there was a bit where I forget what the name of the like smaller amusement park is, that it's like on a pier. We definitely saw that. So maybe they'll expand that to some extent. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. A news did came up about the Joker Florida guy. There's a shot in the trailer where you see the guy the Joker guy getting arrested, but the real guy in real life, he said he wants his money. He wants his due. So I don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna
I
happen
mean, he's
there.
not. Well, he's not going to get it. First of all, because parody laws exist.
Yeah,
And also he probably wants the money, but really what he wants is another 15 minutes of fame. That's all that is. Like,
yeah, that's
because
true.
we got that, and there was a woman who was like, I don't know if she was even a celebrity of any kind, um, but she also was asking for money because there was a person in the trailer who kind of looked like her, and she was like, "Where's my money?"
Mm,
Um, that's just another repercussion of Grand Theft Auto being as big as it is people are gonna come fishing, right? So
for
just is
sure,
what it is.
for sure. Well, GTA 6 2025. For in the future, maybe they're gonna listen to us for GTA 7. What do you want the location be?
Hmm. You know, I really don't know. I would like to go someplace that felt different because I feel like a lot of the GTAs kind of have that same vibe, especially lately.
Mhm.
Going from like Los Santos to Miami, I think those are going to feel not the same, but they're going to have that same like
Vibe. They have the same
that same
vibe.
vibe of like it's like warm
Bi-
beach type stuff, right? So I would
yeah, big
almost like to
city.
see if they went back to like a New York type setting, like someplace
Mm.
colder, someplace more like mafia ish. I think that might be a little bit more interesting, just to change it up a little bit. Because if they did a third one that's like vaguely tropical, not tropical, but you know what I mean, like it's that
Yeah.
same like climate, then I think we'd almost start getting into the issue of like how when Call of Duty did World War II for forever, and
Mm.
everyone was like, I'm kind of getting tired of World War II. I don't think this one's going to be that problem, but I think if we get into a third one, then we're talking about like multiple decades of that being exactly what GTA is. I think they should probably change it up a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, GTA 4 is underrated. But for me,
Hmm.
if you want that Red Dead Redemption vibe, go to Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Dallas being interesting. I do think that they probably do want to stay coastal to some extent because that gives them more options in terms of like what kind of activities you can have. Because
Yeah.
if you do Dallas specifically, there's not really any major
Or
body of water. There's like lakes, but you're not
maybe
really
do
gonna do any like
maybe do
boat chases
Houston.
on those. Maybe Houston. You could do like a Houston to Galveston sort of area, but I don't necessarily. I don't know if we need to get Galveston included in this. Galveston's gross.
Yeah. I mean, in Miami GTA 6, if you control a cruise ship, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched some breakdowns on the trailer, and there's definitely a lot of things that people are pointing out, and it's like, oh well, this cargo ship is moving. Does that mean that you're able to hijack this cargo ship? And like, I don't have the like mental acumen or whatever specifically for Grand Theft Auto to be able to guess that. But yeah, I think that there's definitely going to be a lot of things in this game that we haven't seen before. Because there always is in Rockstar games. Like whenever a new Rockstar game comes out, it kind of sets the bar for a lot of technology in the video game space, and so I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, man. Well, 2025, I'll be there, you'll be there. Everyone's listening is gonna be there. They said PC will get it later.
Yeah, so Rockstar also does this thing pretty consistently where they launch on consoles and then PC comes out like a year later. I think Red Dead 2 took forever to hit PC.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry.
so yeah, RIP to PC players. It's gonna be a while. You're probably gonna have to pull the trigger and just buy it on console and then get it again when it comes out to. You're just gonna have to double dip. Like that's what it's gonna come down to.
Just do it. Just do it. But yeah, that's GTA 6. If you wanna if you want to say one word for the Game Awards that just happened, what would be your word?
Um, corporate.
Oh, that's
it,
fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, until then, I guess I'll say you're